Good morning friends, this is Amit Tiwari. I recently cleared my written examination for CDSE entry 109 course SSC non-technical men, which was held on 4th of Feb this year. And yesterday the results were announced. I cleared it. I had my roll number in the in that list. So firstly I would like to tell you about CDSE. What is actually CDSE? It is not at all a tough examination. If you are preparing regularly, it is not at all tough. Starting from English, as you all know, there are 3 subjects: English, GS and Maths. For IMA candidate, it is Maths is compulsory, and for OTA, English and GS portion. So I've done my coaching from this Indus Rangers. It's a very good coaching, and it helped me a lot to sail through this examination. The notes are provided here regularly. Sheets, sir will always give you sheets to solve 10 to 12 sheets. Those are enough to qualify this examination. And the books, the study material provided here is also very excellent. And then coming to English, there is a myth that English is a very tough subject and people often hesitate to particularly sail through this. And as you all know, 20% required for clearing this examination. 20% is minimum percentage that is required in each of the subject to qualify. So starting from English, it's not at all tough. There are basic rules that UPSC always asks. Some exceptions always ask. You are not supposed to read everything. Just read exceptions and solve sheets. So that will be enough. There is a book, that General English for all competitive examination by SC Gupta, that will be provided here in the coaching itself. So that will be very good. And then coming to GS, it's not that it is hard, but it is quite tougher portion. People often find it difficult because there are many things that can be asked. Starting from GS, static GK, then coming to dynamic GK. So I joined coaching, and then I received notes from Shakir sir, and that was very helpful. And I have a habit of making notes. That I think that is very good habit, and that helped me a lot to qualify the examination, because it will provide you a gist that you can revise a month before the examination. So note making habit is very good for clearing GS. And NCRTs, obviously you can prefer NCRT books from 6th class to 12th class. Geography, history, geography solely from NCRT, and nothing else. If you want to study GS, that is it's for polity, you can go for Lakshmikant. It's a very good book for India polity. For other examinations as well, it's very good for civil services and for CAPF, assistant commandant examinations. And for FCAT you need to study a little bit of maths and reasoning. You can buy any book, anything. And for GS, current affairs magazines, Yojana, PIB, Press Information, this Bureau Government of India, PRS, these are very helpful. And if you are in regular touch with these websites, you will be able to find good chances of clearing examination. And then maths, arithmetics is a major portion that is covered in the examination. So you can buy any book or the notes that sir will provide here. So very good. And finally, as you all know, that nearly 4 lakh students appear, and only 8 to 61 candidates qualified for written examination. And finally 300 or 400 will make it through this SSB examination and join the academy. So they actually judge a person not at all, like they are not looking for a person who is good in English or a person who is good in intellectual. They are looking for a person with a sound mind, with average intelligence, problem solving abilities, and then if you are good at games, firstly I would like to make a timetable. Like I play boxing. I represented my university as well, and I am a Taekwondo gold medalist as well. So I recently fetched gold medal here in Varanasi. So that helped me a lot, because if you are playing games and your body will be fit, you will not get any kind of like diseases or something. And like I joined boxing, so it is very good for mental fitness as well, and for your physical fitness. Like both the things are required. And if you don't want to join any game, just at least 1 या 2 घंटे आप निकालिए for running, at least running, normal running, jogging. So that is very much important. Like if you are going to the ground, it's very good. Something you are receiving, and it will reflect in SSB as well, because GTO tasks are not at all that you will easily crack it. easily clear, because it requires fitness. If you are good, if you are fit, then you will easily clear all the obstacles, and then you'll always help others as well. So that is required in the examination. And yes, if you are involved in any kind of games or physical activities, that will obviously enhance your stamina, and that will give you a group planning. You will help others. If you are playing any game, obviously if it's a group game or an individual game, you are like determined to that, and that is required in the in army. Courage, determination, then stamina. These are some of OLQs I'm telling you. There are various other OLQs, and you're not supposed to. They're not looking for a candidate who's having all the OLQs at the time of service, at the time of SSB. Later on they will imbibe everything in you in the academy. But there are some basic quality that can be that should be there in the candidate before the exam, before the SSB. So that is important. And English, obviously, it's a very some people say it's a very deciding factor in the SSB. So I don't think that it's a deciding factor. Actually, I'm not at all good in English. But if you have the courage of speaking, whatever you are speaking, but you should have the courage of speaking. Whatever you should mean it. But I'm speaking, and I'm taking the responsibility of what I'm speaking. So that is very important. That actually they are looking for such kind of candidates who can take the responsibility. Doesn't matter you are speaking. Sometimes it happens that you are speaking wrong. It's okay that you are speaking wrong, but it's good that you are speaking. Many of the people hesitate to speak, and that's why they do not make it. So finally, I would like to say that if you are weak at something, just join coaching. There is nothing bad in that. If you are weak in mathematics, if you are weak in English, if you are weak in GS, so just join coaching. I joined Indus Rangers. That helped me a lot. Because I think without Indus Rangers, it would have never been possible for me to qualify the examination. Because they provided ample of resources, notes, and that competitive environment. It is very good. The peer group I get here, it's very good, and regular guidance from sir. So that is all I want to say about it. Best of luck for the future examination.